The summer DLC for GT Online has officially been announced by Rockstar. GT Online, The Criminal Enterprises is coming July 26th, as we all expected. And today we have an entire Newswire article as well as a trailer to break down. There's a lot to go over, so let's get right into it. I'll start off with the Newswire since that can kind of provide a background as to what is going to be shown off in the trailer. And I'm not going to be reading every single word from the Newswire. I will pick out some of the key points, but even with that, there's still a lot to discuss here. The southern San Andreas economy is in crisis, gas prices have spiked to their highest levels in decades, retail supply chains are in turmoil, and to top it off, a ferocious heat wave is gripping the state. Executives, bikers, nightclub owners, and gun runners are making the most out of the chaotic conditions. Meanwhile, the sudden spike at the pumps has caught the attention of the IAA, who suspect the corrupt Duggan petrochemical family are rigging the system in their favor, and they're going to need you to help them put the pieces together. The Criminal Enterprises is a sweeping update bringing new missions and upgrades to GT Online, including significant expansions to business prospects for criminal careers, plus new elaborate contact missions with players operating as a sworn-in agent for the IAA, and much more starting July 26th. The Criminal Enterprises also delivers highly requested experience improvements while giving players more choice in how they climb their way up through the criminal ranks. Players will earn increased payouts across a variety of gameplay, enjoy experience improvements, and more with new modes, vehicles, collectibles, and special events dropping all summer long, including new showroom floors where players can test drive or simply purchase a range of new vehicles on the spot. So it sounds like the IAA missions are instead going to be about rising gas prices and the Duggans for the most part, instead of what I discussed yesterday in my video. That last paragraph is very interesting too, including new showroom floors where players can test drive or simply purchase a range of new vehicles on the spot. This is going to be a brand new dealership that we will get into when we discuss the trailer, because they do show it off in the trailer. They then go on to explain about selling in private sessions, which doesn't just mean invite only, this also means things like friend sessions and crew sessions as well. For executives, those who own an executive office will notice new staff manager Lupe ready and able to help source additional special cargo for your empty shelves. A new side gig will also open up for executives where a shipment of special cargo will arrive daily outside your warehouse, packed and ready for delivery to the docks. Plus, 2 new sources of special cargo will also be added into the mix of source missions, increasing the variety of missions available to white-collar criminals statewide. So brand new content for the executive crate business, and it sounds like there's going to be some kind of daily income type thing where basically you get a crate each day to sell perhaps, and then 2 new sources of special cargo. I'm not sure exactly what that means. It could be new missions or new cargo types altogether. Either way, it sounds cool. For bikers, clubhouses with the custom bike shop are getting an on-the-house upgrade where MC presidents will be able to modify clients' bikes to specifications and deliver them to customers for GTA money and RP. Bikers will also be able to bolster their street cred and bottom lines by completing 2 new clubhouse contracts posted on the meeting room wall at the clubhouse. And you might notice patrons haunting the bar in your clubhouse. A bar resupply mission will keep the kegs tapped and the clientele happy while earning a little extra income for your MC. The biker business is basically getting what the auto shop has now, but for bikes, which I think is really neat. We're getting 2 new MC contracts and a brand new resupply mission that will earn you some more income for your motorcycle club, and I wonder if that means it's going to be a passive income type thing. Moving on to gun runners, Ammunition has heard that you're all about supplying quality goods at a fair price, and they want in. Make a daily delivery to a designated ammunition store for an additional source of revenue. When stocking your bunker, you'll come across 2 new resupply missions, and players will also be able to call Agent 14 from the road to increase their research progress by sourcing data from a well-armed mark. So again, just like the crate business, there's going to be 2 new resupply missions along with the daily deliveries to Ammunition. And what I think is the most important part about this is being able to progress your research by doing a mission from Agent 14. You know, maybe for each mission you do from him, it completes 1 research project. Because I know research can be a pain for a lot of people who don't have it all completed already, because you can either wait forever or you fork over an arm and a leg to get it done. So this will be welcomed by the community for sure. And how about that new weapon? I'm assuming this is the tactical rifle that was leaked by Allocator, and it's clearly based off of the M16 of some sort, which I hope means that it's a burst rifle. I think that would be really cool to see in GT Online. I've always wanted to see a burst rifle. But there are also variations of the M16 that are full auto, so it could be full auto, but I do hope it's a burst rifle. And then we have Nightclub Owners. Nightclub Owners can now contact Johan to take on missions to source goods for their nightclub warehouse, or call Tony to launch club management missions. 2 new club management missions have been added to the roster, giving you new ways to promote your above-board operations. Meanwhile, inside your club, you'll be able to maintain the vibes by ejecting troublemakers and chaperoning passed-out VIPs to safe locations off-site. Based off of what they said here, it sounds like the nightclub is going to become more of a business in itself, aside from just depending on the other forms of your businesses to have cargo in it. The new contact Johan will be able to source goods for you to steal and bring back. What I'm most excited for here, to be honest, is that last part where they say you can maintain the vibes by ejecting passed out VIPs to safe locations off-site. Because if you played the Battle to Get Tony back in GTA 4, you can kind of do the same thing being a bouncer or security for the club, just doing that job, walking around and getting rid of the bad actors. The new contact missions are going to be called Operation Paper Trail, where 1 to 4 players are sworn in to investigate the Duggins to see if they're behind the spiraling oil prices, basically to sum it up. One thing that I want to say here before we move on to the next part, which is the vehicles, is I'm surprised they didn't mention anything about the hangar business. They mentioned nightclub executives and bikers, as well as gun runners, but the hangar business is just left out to dry, so I don't think many people are going to be partaking in that business after this update. This wouldn't be a GTA Online update though without some brand new vehicles. We have 2 new Unlisted eligible vehicles that are going to be available with special upgrades such as lock-on jammers, remote control, and more. And they show off an image of this car, which is what I assume one of the new Unlisted vehicles. I'm hoping they also include armor on those new Unlisted vehicles, but this is something that I'm very much excited for sure. The lock-on jammer was one of the best additions to this game. There's also going to be new tuners vehicles. Benny's Original Motorworks is going to be expanding its capabilities to work on additional vehicles, and later this summer, HSW upgrades are going to be available on an existing Classic, and that is of course going to be only available for the next-gen consoles, and several OG vehicles are going to be getting the HSW treatment as well, and I hope the Adder is on that list. And last but not least, at the end of the newswire, they talk about the other changes like increased payouts on adversary modes and races, the Mark II nerf, which they don't go into further detail about, unfortunately, than they already have. We do, however, get more specifics on what heists are going to see pay increases, and you probably could have guessed this, but the Doomsday heist and the OG heist are getting a bump in pay, and I hope it's a good one, because they do deserve it. So that is everything from the newswire. Now let's go ahead and break down the most important parts of the trailer, because unfortunately I cannot play the trailer in full or else Lord Zelnick will hit me with a copyright claim. So I've taken several screenshots from important parts that I want to talk about. Right off the bat, on the right side of the screen, there appears to be a new helicopter flying in. It's hard to tell exactly what it is, but the shape does look a bit more box-like and less like a Super Velito. Let's hope it's got some good armor, or even better, a lock-on jammer if it's a civilian helicopter. This vehicle on the left here is definitely new. It looks to be one of the new Benny's vehicles coming to the game. And the one on the right side, I believe, is a Sentinel Classic. That is not new. Here's that new dealership that I mentioned towards the beginning of this video. It's got 2 cars on display. And I'm wondering if there's going to be a new interior for this place that we can walk into, or maybe we just walk in front of the glass and press right on the D-pad to test drive it or something. I'm kind of hoping there's an interior though to go along with it. And then we get a closer look at one of the new cars that's inside the dealership. It's of the Obey Descent. Another new vehicle is shown off here. This one is a Clase Truck. I'm not exactly sure what it's based off of. I don't know my trucks that well. I'm sure someone in the comments will definitely know though. Here we have a picture of probably one of the new contact missions. You're breaching some cargo containers underwater, which kind of reminds me of the Merryweather heist from single player. Now this part is very important. This might be the best part of the trailer actually. We see a total of 3 new vehicles here. The one way in the front, that's a new benefactor based off of the SLR McLaren Sterling Moss. And if we cut to the artwork for a second of the DLC, we can see the front of that vehicle. The middle car is that new Pegassi Lamborghini based off of the Countach that was first teased a few weeks ago. And if we go a couple more frames forward, this is a brand new Obey 9F. Oh my goodness. If you guys didn't know, the Audi R8 is my favorite car in real life, which is what the Obey 9F is based off of. And I've been wanting a brand new Obey 9F in the game for so long, and it looks so good. I cannot wait. Here's our second new weapon, and it looks like I was exactly right in my prediction. This is a new bolt-action sniper rifle with iron sights in this picture. I'm hoping that we can also slap an advanced scope on there if you'd like to, but because it will have iron sights as an option, that also means that you'll probably be able to lock on while using it, and that also means bye-bye Pressure Mark IIs yet again using the musket strat. This vehicle right here reminds me a lot of the Vagrant, but it's definitely not the Vagrant because look at those back wheels, they're huge. So it's definitely some form of off-road vehicle, not the Vagrant though. Racing on Cayo Perico confirmed. That's what you're seeing right here. Should be interesting to say the least, trying to maneuver those bushes. All jokes aside though, I am grateful that we're getting more stuff to do on Cayo Perico. I hope it's more than just racing though. I'd like to see some adversary modes. A lot of people have been asking for this vehicle. It's finally here, a modern Camaro. And this screenshot actually shows 2 of them, the blue one in the front and the red one farther back. And Rockstar has been killing it lately with the vehicle models, and these look so great, I have to say. Clifford will be coming back to some extent, so I was at least partially right in my video that I made the other day. And in the ending cinematic, we see a robot juggernaut shooting its minigun. Now, I may be getting a bit crazy here with the speculation, but what if this is our brand new RC toy to mess around with? A juggernaut robot that we can call in and control that has cloaking abilities, all of that. You know how in my video the other day I showed off that the IA were investigating the Clifford Juggernaut? Well, what if they were investigating the technology behind the Clifford Juggernauts in order to utilize it for their own missions? That would be wild. Of course, it is possible it could just be an enemy from one of the missions, but I don't know, man. It looks quite highly detailed for an NPC model. I wouldn't be surprised if it is a robot that we can control. But that wraps up the trailer, so July 26th is the date to look out for, only 5 days away. I am very excited for this. Let me know how you guys are feeling in the comments. Do you think this is going to be a good update, or do you think it's just mid? If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, feel free to leave a like, as well as subscribe to my channel for more GT Online content. You're definitely going to want to be subbed because next week I'm going to have multiple videos up about this update, lots of guides coming, and as always, thanks for watching, and have a great day.